Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Music and Beyond. I'm Ernie Crazy Eyes from Recall Productions. Today, I have two special guests from the band called South Train. They reside in Austin, Texas. How are you guys doing?
We're doing awesome. Just finished the show, feeling good, tired, but got to see a lot of friends, family, smiling faces. So, yeah, it was awesome. Feel great.
Yeah, I feel incredible, man. I got to see a lot of my family that I hadn't seen since before the pandemic. And it was just an absolute joy to my heart to see them again.
Yeah, and this was a homecoming for you guys because you guys haven't been here in like so long.
10 years, I think 10 years.
Yeah. And like to have, everybody, put in what you guys put in, it was amazing and you guys killed it tonight and
Thank you.
all day.
Shit, we couldn't have done it without you, man, for real.
Thank you, Ernie.
Nah. Come on, guys.
No,
Hold on,
man.
let me take my pants off first, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was real good to see you again, man, for real.
Likewise, man. I miss you guys so much. Yeah. And what inspired you to bring the band together, man? What's I guess what I'm trying to say is what musicians inspired you to, create South Train?
Mm-hmm.
And did you see that it has grown throughout this decade?
Right. Well, first, forming a band is difficult because it's like a relationship, but with 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
So it's always difficult to find the like-minded people who love the same things you love. So, that's what's been a great blessing, meeting Trey, more than 10 years ago, making music. We all moved away,
Yeah.
but we're kind of coming back together. So we're blessed to live. I live in Austin, Trey lives in New Braunfels. So getting together, working on music. Plus we've grown in all these years. We've changed musically, not too much, but we've matured.
Yeah.
We've matured more. We've learned a lot in these years. So kind of coming back, it's even better than it was before because we know what we love. We know what we want to do.
Yeah,
And,
it was
we're going after it.
Sorry, it was kind of like during those years, man, we kept in touch, and that was the biggest thing, was that we kept in touch during that time. Like Arnold would come stay at my house or our apartment at the time.
Yeah.
We would go to Arnold's house and we'd stay at his house on the weekends. And we were just always talking and keeping in touch for 10 years, man. And finally, it just came together. But during that time, we'd been, experimenting with different sounds, experimenting with different toys, experimenting with different, genres.
Right.
And sitting in with different bands in different areas.
Yeah.
And so now that we're coming back together, it's kind of like we're on, it's Tex-Mex on steroids, man.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Honestly, I love the Spanish songs that you guys did tonight and this afternoon. I was not expecting that, and
That's good to throw in some surprises like that.
Yeah, when I saw the set list, I was like, wait a minute, what the heck? Yeah. But I enjoyed it, and I'm sure the family, at the house party was, very impressed too, because a lot of people came to me and they're like, hey, your band is good. I'm like, that's not my band, but thank you. They don't work for me, I work for them.
You look like you meant business, man. The way I turned around and I saw you. I was like,
yeah,
man,
honestly, you guys said you matured. I matured too. I don't drink during shows anymore. I'm not just trying to get drunk and
I think that's been the biggest thing for me, man. To be honest with you, the biggest thing for me has been giving up alcohol, dude. Because when I was with Southern Train 10 years ago, I was an alcoholic, dude.
Yeah, we got drunk so many times.
We were all
not me.
Except Arnold. Arnold.
I don't do that.
I remember one time we were playing at a bar in Brownsville, man, and Arnold's like, man, that beer looks delicious. I think I'll have one. And I was like, what? You're gonna have a beer? I'm like, shoot, let me go buy it for you, man.
Yeah, I think I've had a few beers with him, but not to the max. Wow.
But man, it was out of control at the time, and and I stopped shortly after. And I became sober. I became a dad with harmonica, and I got married. And I rededicated my life to Jesus, and I got clean, man, from alcohol. And that's really what helped me be who I am today and being able to get back with Arnold, be disciplined enough to play.
Yeah,
with
and congratulations, man. You guys announced today that you guys are expecting. So
Yeah, man, thank God.
I'm so proud of you guys. Like
Not me and Trey. Trey and his wife.
Trey and his wife. Yeah, like
We tried having a Halloween baby, man. We're trying to time it for Halloween next year, but it just surprise. So it'll be-
yeah, I love it though because like like Dahlia, I hold her close to my heart. So
we
I
hold
always
you close to ours,
gotta
man.
like take care of her. And harmonica is like amazing. And
Yeah.
Thank you.
cousin. And what's your writing process, man? Because I've always been very intrigued with like your lyrics and like does the music come first or?
I get ideas from random things. Like I was just telling Sam, one of the more recent songs that we're going to be recording soon is called Free Girl. And I mean, this is like an example. They're not all written like this, but here's one example. So I had a dream, and in my dream, I'm married to my wife, right? But in my dream, she didn't know she was married to me.
Oh, wow.
So I see her with a guy.
Yeah.
And I go up to her like, hey, like, why are you with this guy? She says, well, who are you? I don't know who you are. I'm like, wait a minute, like, we're husband and wife. She said, I don't know who you are. So like, leave me alone. And I was so heartbroken. I'm devastated. And I see her walking around like she's with this other dude. And I'm thinking like what's going on? And I woke up and I was kind of like, oh my gosh, like, you just feel like you wake up feeling kind of crappy,
Yeah.
Even though it's just a dream, but it's so emotional. So when I woke up, I took that idea and I wrote a song about it called Free Girl.
That's cool.
That's just one example. I get a lot of inspiration from nature. I mean, I love nature, bodies of water, mountains, clouds. Just because nature is so beautiful, it's so vast and it's never ending. So there's like limitless ideas when it comes to nature. So a lot of my songwriting ideas come from nature. And I know Trey, he's got his songwriting process too.
Yeah, man, it's hard for me, like Arnold said. I guess the last one that I did that I posted up on Facebook now was South Train, but just on my personal page that I share with Dahlia, Freddie Fendertown came to me in a dream also. Believe it or not.
Nice.
And, yeah,
I need to check that out.
Not necessarily the song, but the idea, because I had this dream and I've been going through some very, hard issues, and I hadn't been talking to my parents and stuff, and I hadn't come down to the valley in a long time. And one time I had a dream, and in my dream I could see San Benito the way it was like in the 1950s and 60s.
Oh, nice. So you traveled.
It was like a time travel in my dream, and I'm downtown and I see all the lights and the neon lights and the old 50s and 60s cars, and there's shops everywhere, and there's music playing, and there's a dance hall, the La Vita, which is still there. So I woke up and I just started writing down what I saw and what my memories were growing up here, and I came up with this song, and that's kind of comes to us everywhere, man. Nature, dreams, just
that's
randomly,
awesome.
Yeah,
Love, heartbreak, hope.
Yeah, like honestly, I think you played it at the earlier gig. Sometimes I gotta hide when I cry.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I remember that song. That's me.
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah.
sometimes we write about friends too, man. Like,
Yeah.
friends and family are a huge inspiration.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I love your Manger Blues song, the
man.
Manger Hotel.
It's never been recorded, and I don't even know if like a video recording on someone's phone even exists, because the last time we did it was like 10, 11 years ago. But the other day I actually recorded it on my phone on the acoustic guitar, and
nice.
Kind of singing the lyrics and coming back to me and remembering it, and trying to restructure it. Hopefully we'll bring that one back, man.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I'd like to, record that one. That way, when we come back, we can have that song and some other new material.
Yeah, I can't wait for the return, because this was amazing.
And
And
the Manger Hotel, man, that one's actually about me experiencing some paranormal activity at the Manger.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the more life experiences, man.
Yeah.
that's amazing. I love. What's been one of your favorite memories in your music career?
Meeting people. Like everywhere you go, you just meet new musicians, you meet new people. I love meeting new people. Everywhere you go, they're just, even though we're all alike, like we're all so different. So meeting different personalities and interests and hobbies, and it's pretty inspiring, meeting people. So I would say that's one of my highlights.
And I'll tell you, one of the biggest Southern Train memories I have was my 25th birthday party. 10 years ago when I turned 25, and we played at the old CNC Wings. It used to be open here in San Benito, and it was kind of an impromptu thing. Like, we were playing on a Friday night, happened to fall on my birthday, and Smiley and Dee from Gatos Locos showed up. Hawk Hernandez showed up.
Yeah.
And it became a huge
party.
Yeah, my best friend Paul showed up. And it just became like this huge party, dance,
Cool.
blues, rock and roll thing, jam out. I mean, yeah, man. And, I had family there and stuff. It's like, those are just the best memories, man.
Yeah, I kind of remember that because...
I think we had a lot of fun after that.
Yeah, we did.
After party, man.
Yeah. And I want to talk about the Red River Queen EP. Like, how did that come together? And a song that I really want to talk about is one song that, it's new to me, The Lone Star.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk to me about the EP and that song and,
Right.
the story behind Red River Queen EP?
So again, nature. I had that riff of my Lone Star. I love that Bo Diddley beat, the bounce, 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 right? And I had that riff for a long time. I tried inserting different lyrics, but nothing ever seemed to really fit. And my wife and I, we took a drive through Texas, and it was during the spring, so flowers were blooming, and it was a beautiful day. And I was just struck just by the beauty of what was around us, the hills, the flowers, the trees. And when I got home, I just started, I just wrote one line: up north from Amarillo to down in San Antonio. She's my Lone Star State. She's where I call home. And then, in Austin, I-35 is notorious, So up north in 35 or south 77, which, we live in 77.
We're literally standing like a couple of feet away from 77.
Yeah, that's true. So again, nature, the overwhelming feeling that I got from the beauty is what wrote that song. And in fact, that song was written in about 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So from 5 years of trying to write something, and I got home from that trip, and that song was written in 5 minutes. And then it's like I wrote it, like, okay, I don't need to change anything. Like, I'm happy with it. And I showed it to some people, and, I like people's feedback, and they thought, like, no, it's fine. So
it sounded so different from, like, older Southern Train songs.
Right. Well, again, we've matured.
Yeah.
A few years older, so you write differently, and you want to try new ideas in there. So that's where that song comes from.
That's awesome. And can you talk to me about Red River Queen?
Yes. Let me see. I'm trying to think of. We'd had a flood here in the valley, and so the Arroyo Colorado runs through Harlingen, right? And the arroyo had really risen where it was almost touching the overpass, Business 77 overpass. But when the waters receded, my wife and I, we took a walk on that trail, that Resaca trail, and we could see the water line was, so stinking high. I thought, oh my gosh, like, look at how high this water line came. And I was just so overwhelmed. Again, nature, overwhelming feeling of beauty and just the power of nature. And that's where that first line of Red River Queen came. She runs wild, she runs wide, like you've never ever seen. Red as fire, sweet as wine. I'm talking about my Red River Queen.
Yeah.
And so the Red River, that it's talking about the arroyo, right? And I just wrote those few lines, and the rest
just came out.
Kind of came from that. But again, nature. And just the beauty and the force of nature, just like, oh my gosh, the overwhelming feeling is what wrote that song.
If I can add to that, you're kind of documenting history too, because I remember Arnold telling me that it was around the time of Hurricane Dolly.
Hurricane Dolly,
We all remember that hurricane.
Yeah.
I think all three of us were here.
I was asleep.
Yeah. But the songs, man, it's just tied. It's tied to history. It's tied to our hometown, man, and where we grew up, and. And those of y'all who don't speak Spanish, Arroyo Colorado translate to Red River.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
Arroyo
that.
Colorado is Red River in Spanish.
Wow, I didn't know that. Wow, I'm learning. Thank you, guys. Education. I love that song. That's one of my favorite songs,
Yeah.
especially that dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun.
Yeah,
You guys
I
need to check it out. It's available on
too.
the streaming platform, South Train.
Yeah. Plus, I'd like to re-record it with accordion in there.
Oh yeah, that would be
The
good.
recent one, a friend of mine recorded saxophone in there, but I'd rather have Trey in there. So I'd like to re-record it with accordion.
We're real soon, man. In the process, we're gonna be hitting up the studio with our friend Eliud,
Right.
Eliud Garcia, man, and we just like a guy's like a brother to us too, and should check out his music as well, man. He's got a great norteño band, dude.
Yeah.
It's one of the best in the state, if you
Yeah.
ask me. Well, we're gonna be recording with him. We're real excited. You know, we'll be putting some updated music up pretty soon.
Yeah.
He's from Roma, Texas. So look up Señal Nortex. And, great stuff. He's a great songwriter, very creative, very driven, a lot of vision, a lot of goals and ambition. And it's, we like
Yeah.
hanging around with people like that.
But also one of the nicest guys, man. He's like a big old teddy bear, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just want to hang out with him all day, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite song to perform live, whether it be a cover or, just one of your originals?
Man, I like playing them all. I can't say like I love one more than the other. They're all fun to play. Like I can play them all and that's why when I write them, if I know I can't like play the song like 100, 200, 1,000 times, I won't even mess with it.
Yeah, you'll change it until you.
Yeah, but I like all the songs we do, and they're fun to play. And even if I'm by myself or audience, it doesn't matter. They're all fun to play. So yeah, I can't really give you an answer on that one.
Yeah, same here, man. Love
Yeah.
them all equally.
Yeah, and I could tell because you guys played, like several songs like tonight and this afternoon,
Yeah.
and I just felt, like the love and
That's awesome.
like the connection that you guys had with that song
That's
and
great.
how you guys take turns singing and like that's amazing. That's like one of you guys are one of the truest bands I've ever
Cool.
had an opportunity to see and stuff.
You're one of the truest people we've had the opportunity to know, man.
Yeah, man, you're an awesome guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just also want to say that we're hanging out here outside of the Resaca.
Yeah, man, it's real special, dude. We see the palm trees, we see Business 77, we see the park,
Yeah.
I remember when that park used to be a real
Shit.
like raunchy
Shit.
park.
Yeah, raunchy,
dude.
yeah.
All the winos would be there, and and you see it now, and it's freaking beautiful, dude.
San
Yeah.
Benito did a lot to really take
Yeah.
care of it, and that's
Yeah, and this place is
clean.
growing. I mean, where you guys just performed like that was never there.
right.
You remember there used to be like an old motel here
Yeah.
called like the Flamingo Inn, and it was abandoned. And they,
Oh, I remember
it
that.
was
Yeah.
weird. But this is where we're standing right now, man. This actually was my grandpa's fishing spot, man. He
Wow.
used to fish here all the time, and he passed away in 2021 in March, and so this is real special for us, Ernie. So thank you for allowing us to be.
Yeah,
out here.
man, and I love this because I've been wanting to do this for a while. Because, back 10 years ago, I wasn't doing this, but Arnold, you taught me so much in the music business, and Trey, like all those nights that we hung out, jamming and drinking, and
Hey, man, and you convinced me to ask Dahlia to marry me.
I know.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude.
yeah, you convinced me to finally just work up the courage to do it.
yeah, and I know
You
that
and
I was there when you guys were having some stuff too,
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
You were with us through the good and the bad, man.
Yeah.
That's
you
awesome.
saw
I hope
us
I'm
all-
your best man in your next wedding. Yeah,
Hopefully it'll be another one, man. Another vow renewal down the.
yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you guys this question because like you with harmonicas and you with accordions, like how many instruments of like harmonicas and accordions do you guys own? Like,
Oh,
Man.
let me see.
Well, I was telling this to my friend, Officer Braun, man. This guy, this police officer at the school I work at, because he's interested in picking up harmonica. I say I got a harmonica in every single key, and I have a backup in every single key as well in case
Oh, wow.
one blows out. So I have a case with, I can't even count, dude. A lot of harmonicas.
yeah,
And then with accordions, right now I got 4. I got one in sol, fa, mi, and I got one in la too. Now the one in la is a Waldmeister. The others are Honers. The Waldmeister, I screwed up the tuning job because I'm starting to learn how to tune, but I started running before I could walk or crawl. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the job. So, Yeah, I'm gonna have to send that to my friend Gus so he can fix it for me, man. But yeah, I got four squeeze boxes in different keys.
Dude, they're beautiful and they sound
accordions.
amazing.
Yeah. Harmonicas, I just have one in A, C, D, E, and G. So 5.
5.
And yeah, I mean, I don't use them all, but those are a lot of the keys that the songs are in. So, and so that's those are the keys that I have.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How many? And where does the name South Train come from? You know, I know you guys were Southern Train at one point, but like, you know, how, like, you know, like, let's just pretend that Southern Train never existed, but like South Train.
Right. Stone Temple Pilots, Interstate Love Song. There's a line in the chorus that says, "Leaving on a Southern train only yesterday."
Oh.
Right? So I always liked that line. And then plus, like, I grew up here in La Palma, so the railroad tracks run through there. So the railroad tracks have always had like a meaning to me. I used to play there with my friends, you know, growing up, and shooting BB guns and throwing rocks. So just like the railroad, it means a lot, right? And so I like that line, and the Southern Train, it just kind of, you know, brought back memories and feelings of you know, just the train. When we stopped playing, I noticed like other bands had taken that name, Southern Train. So when we started rewriting, I thought, well, let's just shorten the name to South Train.
Yeah.
I mean, it's simple, it's easy, 2 syllables. So that's where the song originates from, and the name originates from, and that's why now it's called South Train.
That's, wow. I actually never put 2 and 2 together, but I always sing that song and I never, like, you know.
Okay, yeah.
And that's actually one of my favorite parts,
Yeah,
like, you know.
I love it.
There used to be a tracks, man. They used to run right there. I don't know if you remember, Arnold.
yeah.
They used to go in between San and Houston, and then they would run in all weird right there, and they tore them up. And they don't use them anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And how has music changed your life?
Let me see here. Well, I don't think it's changed my life. It's always been a part of my life. Like my mom said, when I was in the womb and there was music playing, like, man, I was just like going crazy in there. And then I was born into a musical family. You know, everyone played an instrument, and I'm the youngest of 7. So music kind of picked me. You know, I didn't pick music.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in it, and it's like that's all I know to do. I'm not the best at all, but I love it, and it's fun, and it makes me happy.
And you know what? It's funny that you say that, because I used to live in La Palma too, like right there on Diaz Street.
Yeah.
And my mom told me one day, like, you know why you love music? I'm like, why? Because when we used to live there at the garage, the neighbor would always be blasting rock music and stuff.
Oh.
And I'm not sure if I was in like her belly or like just like a child or whatever.
Right.
But she said that I was moving to music and stuff.
There
And
you go, man.
you know, but what's up, Trey? Like, you know, how has music changed you?
Like Arnold, man, it's always been part of my life. It's been a generational thing too, because my father's a musician. He had a gospel band with his brothers and sisters. He had a couple of, you know, bands here and there when he was a teenager. He had a recording studio here in town, and, you know, he eventually sold it, moved it into the house, and so with all the equipment. So it was just always part of my life. And then, you know, my grandfather and his dad was a musician, and his dad was a musician, and, you know, we had Narciso Martinez in the family, you know, father of Conjunto.
awesome.
Yeah, and if you want, you can tell us a little bit more about, you know, what Narciso Martinez did.
He was he's known as the father of Conjunto music, Texas Conjunto music, which of course later evolved into Tejano. And he's known as the father because he made the first recordings that pairing the accordion and the bajo sexto. He's an accordion player who picked up the accordion from the Germans while he was working in one of those German towns like New Braunfels, I believe. And, you know, when he came back to the Valley, he started pairing it with Spanish words, and it just developed into Conjunto music. So, and, you know, people say that he's the first one to cut an album with the accordion and bajo sexto, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. But yeah, so he's in the lineage. I'm in his lineage, and so it's just always been generational. My grandma told me that before him, the family were like in orquestas, where they were like in these little traveling, and they call them orchestras, but they're not really orchestras. I mean, they're just little, you know, a couple of strings, couple of violins and just play like, you know, in fields after the migrants would work, they would dance in the fields.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so it goes back a really long time for me, man. It's always been a part of me. It's part of harmonica now too.
And I love your daughter's name, man. Like harmonica.
Yeah.
Like if I ever have a daughter, like I want to name her like Lyric or
You should.
like something musical.
I'll think of one for you, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna have any kids anytime soon because I'm single and ready to mingle from lunes to domingo. What up, ladies, man?
You know it, bro.
But before I let you guys go, I like to end every conversation and interview with a fun question, and this is gonna make you guys think a little bit. So, if you guys were stuck in an elevator, with any musician, dead or alive, who would it be, and what would you talk about?
Oh, that's easy, man. Cliff Burton, my favorite bassist for Metallica. You know, he died in that tragic bus accident in '86. I love just his attitude, his passion for music, and what he did in a short time, you know, in the genre of music. So yeah, I definitely, it'd have to be him.
And I'll tell you, man, a little interesting fact about him is that like a month before he died, Metallica actually played at the Vidial Convention Center.
That's right.
Oh, really?
I've
in
seen video of
McAllen.
that.
About a month before the accident happened, before they went to Europe, they stopped in McAllen. They played at the Vidial.
Yep.
Holy smokes!
Yeah.
This was back in '86.
86, man. He played in McAllen with Metallica right before he died, man.
Wow.
There's YouTube video. You can find it. Just type in Metallica La Vidial, and it's in there. I've checked it out.
That's crazy. I never knew that Metallica came down to the valley.
Yes,
A lot of
Guns N'
bands do
Roses
that.
also. They were there, and Iron Maiden's been in La Vidial, and a lot of big.
My buddy
Alice
was
Cooper.
Alice Cooper. My buddy was
Yeah.
telling me
Wow,
about
Alice Cooper.
Yeah, and a lot of guys, man, back in the day. Vidial, I miss that place too.
Yeah.
That place is cool, man.
There were so many venues that don't exist anymore, and
There's a Roadhouse in San Benito, man.
Oh, the Roadhouse,
Did you
yeah.
ever get to play the Roadhouse?
No, I went some dances there.
Gosh, man, I never even got to go inside the Roadhouse.
I
dude.
saw,
Yeah.
I saw Intocable there, and it's kind of cool. Like as we're talking about in the interview, like we go from like conjunto, orquestra, to Metallica, to Iron Maiden, to
And that-
Intocable. You know, 'cause we love all that, man. It's all
and,
good
and that's the
music.
beautiful thing. Like music
Yeah.
is just magical, whether it
Yeah.
be any genre.
Food
Right.
for the soul, man.
Yeah. What about you, Trey? If you were stuck in an elevator,
Man, dude. Man, honestly, Levon Helm. He was the drummer from the band.
Okay.
Yeah, the band. If you look them up, if you don't know who they are, then you are at a huge disadvantage because they're the greatest band of all time. They started off as the backup band for Ronnie Hawkins. He was a rockabilly guy from Arkansas, and from there they became Bob Dylan's backup band in the '60s when he went electric. And
Yeah.
even when he did like the Basement tapes. Even some of the '70s Bob Dylan, typically the band was backing him up, but they did cut a few albums. Levon Helm was the drummer, and he was also one of the primary singers of the band.
yeah. And right now that you mentioned Bob Dylan, I just heard this album yesterday.
I saw that, dude.
And
Yeah.
dude, like I love this song so much. Like this is one of my favorite Bob Dylan
look,
songs
check it out.
ever.
So we were talking about doing that. So I don't want to
Right.
spoil it, but we've been talking about doing that one
Yeah.
with the accordion,
Yeah.
dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's amazing.
Hey, I got that album on vinyl, dude.
Dude, I want to buy a vinyl thing, like a record player.
Okay.
You should.
Like POD just released their 2008 album. Like they re-released it on all streaming platforms in a vinyl.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, like I need POD, I need rock, I need blues. Like
Yeah.
I love Stevie Ray Vaughan thanks to Arnold. I love, like I forgot, like you've showed me so many bands that I can't even think of right now.
Yeah.
But
Vinyl's fun, dude. It sucks that they're becoming more and more expensive now.
yeah, well, it's trendy now. Like
Yeah.
yeah, but where can we find you guys?
Instagram, South Train TX, Facebook, South Train TX, YouTube, same. Pretty much we stick to those. Cause like our fan base, they mainly kind of utilize those platforms. So you can find us there.
And I'll be posting the link tree to South Train, so that you guys can follow them and
Awesome.
listen to their music and
Yeah.
join the train, join the
Yeah.
ride.
Thanks a lot, man.
I want to say, thanks for listening. I mean, you musicians out there, and, that's what's awesome about music. It unites people. It brings peace. It brings joy, happiness. And it unites all of mankind. And we get to be a part of the celebration. So, thanks for listening, and we appreciate your time.
God bless you guys, man. We love y'all.
Yeah. Ernie, here's a big hug.
Here's a big hug. That's so funny, bud. And and I also just want to let you guys know that thank you all for listening. I love you all, and remember that without music, life would be a mistake.